Alright guys, Hayes Inc here. Today we're going to be talking about something that's been rumoured for quite a while, but seems to be getting a bit of traction now and it looks like it might actually be happening. So Nintendo are taking this bad boy and bringing him into the 4K realm. Let's talk about that.
Here it comes.
So obviously this rumour's been doing the rounds for quite some time, various different forms. People have spoke about the fact that Nintendo would be looking to refresh the Nintendo Switch lineup in some way, shape or form. Most people read the rumour as it was going to be a Switch Pro model that was coming, and it seems that that actually now is going to be the case. However, the Switch Pro is probably not what a lot of people were going to expect. Most people I'd seen speculating about the Switch Pro thought what we would get would be a 1080p handheld. When docked, it would play in 4K. We're halfway there by the sound of things, and it sounds to be what we're going to be getting, and this has been posted by Bloomberg and it's also been confirmed by Wario64, who's a very reliable source over on Twitter. And basically what's being rumoured is that the Switch model will have a 7-inch display, okay? So that's 0.8 inches larger than the current Switch, with the Switch Lite being 5.5 inches, so you're going to have a slightly larger display. It's going to be OLED compared to the current Switch's LCD, so fans of the PlayStation Vita will be aware that the original Vita had a much more vivid screen, okay, compared to the Vita Lite that came out later down the line, which, I mean, both of them had their pros and their cons, but I think purists, traditionalists that were Vita fans really did like the OLED screen on the original Vita. So we could be seeing some really good colour clarity and stuff like that with regards to the new screen on the new Switch that they bring out. Now, the big thing that's going to be changing is when docked, okay, so not in handheld mode. Handheld mode is still going to be 720p. When docked, it's going to play in 4K, okay? So that means that what's happening here is it's going to be the dock itself that's going to be handling the 4K resolution. Now, based on previous rumours and things like that that's been leaked, it sounds like the processing is going to be handed off and done via the dock for that. So what that basically means is you're looking at a sort of a upscaling. That's probably the best way to look at it. The internals most likely won't have much additional power. They won't be pushing anything that you couldn't push on the more original versions of the Switch. So if you've got a Gen 1 Switch or the red box, which people call the Gen 2, it's got slightly more battery life and stuff like that, you're not going to miss out on anything by not getting this new Switch. The only thing you're probably going to miss out on is upscaled 4K resolution, okay? That's not going to really be game changing. Visually, yes, for your TV, it will probably look a bit sharper and stuff like that, but as it's most likely just going to be upscaled, you're probably not going to miss out on anything. And I would say personally, if you play your console in handheld a lot, you maybe don't need to rush out and think about buying a new Switch, because size-wise, you're not missing out on much. I mean, like, seriously, you're not even a full inch bigger, so, well, I mean, I suppose it depends what we're talking about. If you've nearly got an inch bigger, some people would appreciate that. But let's get back to talking about the Switch here. But yeah, so if you're basically looking at getting this for the additional size, you're probably not going to see that much, and pixel density probably won't be higher. So the image might actually look sharper on the other Switch, the smaller Switch, but the one benefit you're going to get out of this is you're going to get the OLED vivid image that you get. So, I mean, yeah, it could be slightly more enjoyable to play, but I wouldn't be concerned about selling my existing Switch or rushing out to upgrade. No, what this does mean, however, is it gives Nintendo another little boost to keep the Nintendo Switch about a little longer before they jump on to the next generation. Now, I don't personally think we're going to see any additional grunt in the internals, like I stated already, so don't expect to see any games taking advantage of that power, because it's not going to be there. Now, this is something that I don't think Nintendo would do because they don't want to fracture their user base. They've only ever done it one time that I can remember, and that is with the new 3DS, which could play some games that the older 3DSs couldn't. And I know a lot of people weren't necessarily happy about that because it wasn't a new console, so people felt a bit miffed that they were missing out on some of these experiences. Off the top of my head, I can only really think of Fire Emblem that done it, but it was a bit of a pain in the arse if you had the old model. So yes, big news, Nintendo are refreshing the Nintendo Switch lineup. I think that just means that going forward, you probably won't get the traditional Nintendo Switch. It doesn't make much sense to me that they'd sell a Switch Lite, a Switch Normal, and a Switch Pro, because, I mean, there's not massive differences between them, so I wouldn't be too surprised if they discontinue one of the other lines. For my money, I'd put money on them keeping the Switch Lite and the Switch Pro. That's what makes most sense to me. So anyway guys, what's your thoughts on this? Are you excited to see what Nintendo do? Are you excited to play some of your Nintendo Switch games like Breath of the Wild upscaled into 4K? What are you looking forward to? What do you want to see? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think that you will see some experiences that are just going to cater to the new Nintendo Switch Pro audience? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm going to continue to put content on this channel, so please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Bye!